Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Stando, and thank you so much for watching Occasional Dilemma Gaming. Today I want to talk about Paris Games Week and the Sony press conference that happened on Monday. What a fantastic press conference it was. Of course, it was a lot of retreading over things that we had already seen at the E3, but in new trailers and new scenes and things that we haven't really seen before. So let's jump into it, guys. And of course, Sony opened up their show with a pre-show that showcased a lot of indie titles, a lot of announcements of things that were new that are coming to PlayStation 4 in the near future, like Guacamelee 2, Spelunky 2, two games that were adored as masterpieces on the indie scene, and they're getting sequels, and that's pretty awesome. I like the art style of these games, and can't wait to see more games like this. It's always a treat to see fan service this way by bringing two titles that were just simply adored and putting them on the PlayStation. So good job there. We also saw two new indie darlings, or future potential darlings, that really interested me in Concrete Genie, which it looks like it's an adventure game about a boy who is being bullied, who can bring paintings to life, and he uses the cityscape. It's more like a graffiti, but he's got his like graffiti brush. Looks very cool. It looks like it's going to be one of those one of those inspirational artsy farts games that really pulls at the heartstrings. Can't wait to see more about that, of course. And then we saw Star Child, which is a platforming game that looked brilliant. Again, I love the art style of these games, and it's really kind of a modernized throwback, if you will, and they all look exciting. Virtual reality games, not a whole lot intrigued me, but I did find some intrigue from Blood and Truth, which is an action thriller type of game. It looks pretty cool. I wonder if this is going to be on rails, because all that movement and stuff looks like it could be very nauseous if you're actually having to move to make the gameplay go further, and we'll just have to wait and see how that works. Again, people are wanting these big long experiences, and I've been one of those that's not been willing to jump onto PlayStation VR until there are more longer experiences and not just these short demos. So this looks very exciting to me on that front. Now, how it plays out and how well it will play, we'll just again have to wait and see when it releases. But it looks amazing. They did show a twin stick shooter, kind of in the same vein of Hotline Miami meets Hardboiled, or what was the other John Woo stuff. You know what I'm talking about. It looks pretty cool. I can't wait to check it out. It's called Hong Kong Massacre again, and very, very stylized. And twin stick shooters are pretty cool. I did like the Undead, or the Dead Nation that was on PS4 before, and yeah, I can't wait to dive in and see how well this plays. Then Sony came right out when the actual AAA show started. That's what I'm calling it, the AAA, the exclusive show. When it started up, they came out swinging with a look at Sucker Punch's new game, and we've been wondering a long time, where's Sucker Punch? What are they working on? We've not seen them since 2014 when Infamous Second Son came out. What's going on with this studio? And I can tell you that, you know, they are working on a new IP. It's called Ghost of Tsushima, and that's pretty exciting. So we're leaving Infamous behind, and we're diving into this feudal Japan setting with samurais, and it looks really cool. Again, it's just a CGI trailer. There's no gameplay, and that tells me that this game is really far out, that they spent a lot of time in concept, and they've spent a lot of time in pre-production of this game, and they're just now getting into probably the meat and development, and there's nothing solid to show yet. But what they have shown us in the story trailer, the CGI introduction trailer, it does look awesome. It did pique my interest, and Can't wait, even though I'll be waiting a long time to see this one. Another thing that I was excited to see more about was Blue Point's remake from the ground up. I'm not talking about a remaster here. I'm talking about an actual remake of Shadow of Colossus, which was a big cult hit on the PS2. A lot of people love that game. It's one of those adventures that it's timeless. And for it to get the remake treatment from the ground up, with stunning visuals, hopefully they can tweak some gameplay stuff. But you can tell that they've learned a lot of lessons with working with the Last Guardian and moving forward on this. That team, Team Eco and Studio Japan, they make awesome games that, again, are timeless, and I can't wait to get my hands on this remake. It looks fantastic. Then they showed a lot of stuff that was coming to games that are third-party games that you can only get on PlayStation. For example, the Monster Hunter game. You can play as Aloy in the Monster Hunter World game. That was pretty cool. They had some Destiny DLC that was coming to PlayStation first and things like that. Still pretty cool. We actually got to see the combat system cranked up in God of War and how things were going to play out. And to be honest, I was kind of blown away to see more God of War. Also later in the show, they showed some more Detroit to Become Human. They showed a scenario that played out where this child is being abused, and you're playing the android nanny or housekeeper or whatever, and you can choose to intervene and save the child, which will result in the abusive father's death, or you can choose to do nothing and do what you're told, and it will result in the little girl dying. And they were showing how dynamic the outcomes to this world are, and how your choices really do carry some weight. And I thought it was a pretty interesting trailer. Again, these are these David Cage games. A lot of people like them. Heavy Rain was a big success. I enjoyed my first playthrough of Heavy Rain, but overall, this isn't my particular type of genre. It's kind of like the Telltale games. I want more gameplay in my games, unless, this seems like this is a QTE heavy based game. I don't know if you guys realize that's what this company does. That's what this developer does, is they make really heavy QTE games that, and you select choices with the QTEs, and that's how it plays out. More like a point and click adventure rather than an actual hands-on mechanical adventure. And so yeah, again, that's what this developer is known for. In the past, they might have some more in-depth mechanics in this one. Again, I'll have to wait until the game releases to find out. We got to see a Peter Parker, Mary Jane trailer for Spider-Man that gives more of a story tone for the game. Really, to be honest, I wish they would quit showing Spider-Man. I feel like we're heading into spoiler territory if we watch any more Spider-Man stuff. I'm just ready for the game to come out. When is it coming? Insomniac, please, Insomniac, don't keep us waiting any longer. Just don't show anything else. If the game is not out by E3 next year, don't show it at E3. If you do, just do a quick promo spot, like a TV spot that you would show. Don't show too much more of this game, please. I'm begging you. We got some Horizon Zero Dawn DLC coming. Of course, we already knew about it. We got the Frozen Lands DLC. It looks amazing. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm probably going to pick up this DLC just because it's more of that world, and I was in love with that world at the beginning of the year. So can't wait to see more on that. Then let's wrap up things talking about The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2 trailer that they showed, it was pretty damn awesome. I'm not going to lie. It looks phenomenal. I know it's CG, still no gameplay, but what this trailer does is it sets the mood for what the game is about. It's pretty brutal, and that's the tone that's being set for this game. They're wanting to show you guys that this is the type of world that we're dealing with, and this is the type of theme that you're going to be presented with, and it's horrific and brutal and gory, and they're not shying away from it. And I thought that was a pretty unique trailer to show. A lot of people were kind of upset that there was no like warning before the trailer aired. I mean, there was one at the beginning of the conference, but not one before the specific trailer. And to be honest, I'm glad that they showed this piece. I hope that they don't show too much. I don't want to see too much. Now we've got 2 tone-setting teaser trailers, and when the next time, we know this game's not coming out for a long time, so the next time they show something, I don't want to see anything until we're seeing gameplay. And then when we see that, all I want to see is gameplay, and I don't want to see too much of those segments. And I think Naughty Dog understands that they don't want to give away too many spoilers, and they don't want to give away too many of their concepts around this franchise. But it was good to see it here at the Paris Games Week, and it was pretty awesome. It was pretty badass. There were a few games missing from this show, which was Days Gone. I think the reason you don't show Days Gone is because you showed Days Gone at E3 and you're showing The Last of Us here, and those games look so much similar, and it would be easy to confuse them. And I kind of would understand why you don't want to confuse the audience. You want Days Gone, you want to show Days Gone because it's the sooner game, so you show it at E3, and then you show this one, which is much further out, at Paris Games Week. That kind of makes sense. But yeah, there was a couple of other games that were kind of missing, and that we would like to see more of, like Dreams, which is the Media Molecule game. Where is it? I don't know. Is it ever coming out? I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see, guys. It kind of does leave the question, though, what more do you have left to show this year? Or what have you saved for PSX? Because PSX is its own event. And yeah, so if you showed The Last of Us already, and you showed what Sucker Punch is got going already, and you've shown more in depth and things on Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit Become Human, what did you save for PSX? But other than that, guys, I thought it was a very strong showing by Sony. I do think that a lot of these games have been overshown, probably announced too early, and that's just my thoughts. I think the Sucker Punch game being announced now, from the looks of it, it might be announced too early. We might not see this for a really very long time. Again, there was no Death Stranding. Just there was a few games that were missing. Death Stranding, the Days Gone, and you're missing the Dreams game, the Media Molecule game. So, but overall, a good conference, a good showing, and I really like the way it was presented. But I really don't want to see any more of these games until they come out. That was another issue I had, was no hardcore release dates except for Shadow of the Colossus. So, when is all this stuff coming out? Everything just says 2018, and I think that they're so afraid to tie actual dates to some of these games. Some of them said early 2018, some of them said spring 2018. What's the difference between early 2018 and spring 2018? It's just a mess. And then Spider-Man just said 2018. And then The Last of Us 2 didn't say anything, it just went off. So, you know, that game's a long way out. Same with the Sucker Punch game, of course. So, yeah, a lot to take in, guys. There was a lot here to unpack. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think of Paris Games Week and all these PS4 trailers? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button so it draws more attention to this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're a newcomer. And as always, guys, remember that I love your face, and we'll catch you on the flip side. You have a good one.